So in this video, I'm going to show you how to rebuild the atomizer head for the eGo 1 from Joyetech. Now this vaporizer normally comes with a non-rebuildable coil head or atomizer head. Um, but if you go online, you can see that the rebuildable atomizer heads are available, and the non-rebuildable heads are available too. The non-rebuildable heads are $12.50 for a package of 5, and the rebuildable ones are $13.95 for a package of 5. So it's $1.45 difference, and you get yourself a package of 5 rebuildable ones, which is a pretty good deal if you ask me. So to start rebuilding the coil head or the atomizer head, we need to disassemble it. So we just basically unscrew the top. On the bottom, there's a piece that comes out. It's a little rubber insulator, and then this piece sits in the middle of it. Just pull that piece out, which will leave you with your atomizer body, a bad coil, and the rubber insulator. Just pull that little rubber insulator right out of there, and then pull the bad coil out and throw it into the nearest trash can. Now this may not be the perfect way to do it, but this is the way I do it. Toothpick. I got a piece of this 28 gauge Canthal wire from Vaporify. I'm going to take my toothpick and I'm going to make 5 close wraps of the wire onto the toothpick. So let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should leave us with a coil of wire and 2 little legs. So now what we need to do is we need to take this coil and trim off one of the longer legs, because there's always one that's longer, so that we basically just have this. Now we're going to take our atomizer body, we're going to put the 2 wires, the 2 tails, into the bottom, and we're going to seat that toothpick right onto the bottom of the slot. There's a slot in the atomizer body, and we're going to stick this right in there so it stays right close to the bottom. What we're going to do next is we're going to take this rubber insulator and we're going to put it over the top of one of the wires, and we're going to push it into the bottom of the atomizer body. So that what that does is that insulates the 2 wires, so we can get a good voltage and a good vape. So we make sure that that coil is centered right in the middle. And we've got the 2 legs out. Now all we have to do is push this little piece just right in the bottom. We don't have to do anything with the wire. We're just going to push it right into the bottom of the coil, or the atomizer body. So we get that. Now all we have to do is trim off our wires really close. You don't want any little tabs of wire, otherwise you won't be able to screw it into the vaporizer. We want to make sure our coil stays nice and centered right in the middle of that. If it's not, then just bend it. You don't want the wires touching the side of the body of the atomizer, or you'll short your coil out. Next thing we need is just a small bit of Japanese organic cotton. And we don't need a whole lot, we just need a little bit. So what we'll do is we'll just cut a little strip, and we're going to squeeze one end, make a point. What we're going to do is we're going to insert that point of that right through the coil and just give it a little tug. Make sure you don't pull the coil out of being in the middle, and then we can just snip off the excess cotton. Which will leave you with this nice coil, this nice rebuilt atomizer head. Next thing we want to do is screw it back together. We're going to make sure it works. So we take our top, we're going to screw the top on. We're going to take some of our e-juice, and we're going to wet a little bit of the cotton on the sides and on the top, just to kind of get that primed up. You don't want to hit dry cotton. That's pretty nasty. Screw the rebuilt vaporizer atomizer head back into the eGo. Attach your tank. Let it sit for just a second. And we should get a nice vape with a nice brand new rebuilt atomizer head for the cheap, and I mean really cheap compared to what you're going to pay for replacement coil heads or atomizer heads. Rebuilding them is way more economical. Okay, hope this helped.